Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so your friends see it. Thank you.
Bill Clinton threw Hillary's new book in the garbage. He was furious at her for what she said. A lot of people did not like Hillary Clinton's heavily hyped new book What Happened, which is little more than hundreds of pages of the 2016 Democratic nominee whining about how she lost the election. It turns out that her own husband Bill was one of the people who hated the book. According to writer Edward Klein, who is about to release his own new book All Out War, The Plot to Destroy Trump, Bill was so upset about Hillary's refusal to rework portions of What Happened that he ended up literally tossing a manuscript of the book into a trash can. Stated Klein about what an insider told him about the event: before Hillary sent the manuscript to her publisher, she gave it to Bill to read, and he made major changes with a red pencil. But she refused to even read his corrections, and he got so furious that he tossed the entire manuscript into the garbage. According to Klein's source, Bill hated the title. Explained Ed, he hated the title because calling it What Happened would only make people say, "You lost." He urged her to postpone the pub date and rewrite the book, but she yelled at him and said, "The book is finished and that's how it's going to be published." Bill also astutely told Hillary at the time that Americans would look down on her after the book came out. Said Klein, he told her the book made her look bewildered, angry and confused, and that those were poor qualities in a person who aspired to be a world leader. Do you think Hillary should have listened to her husband for once? Trump ripped into lib news outlets with very controversial statement. Do you agree with him? One truly sad turn of events during the past 2 years in our country is how the American free press has consistently only presented a slanted, one-sided depiction of Donald Trump, not giving him an ounce of the respect that should be afforded to a major party nominee and, later, a president. Thankfully, President Trump hit back at America's liberal-biased, hateful press in his trademark blunt fashion. Trump made his statement after NBC News continued to circulate pure hearsay as fact, saying that Secretary of State Rex Tillerson called Trump a moron. Said President Trump in response, "The press should speak more honestly. I've seen tremendously dishonest press. It's not even a question of distortion. So when they make up stories like that, that's just made up, and the generals will tell you that. And then they have sources that don't exist, that don't exist. They make up the sources. There are no sources." Trump called this smear story as a classic example of the American mainstream media's trend of fake news, and declared, "It is frankly disgusting the press is able to write whatever it wants to write." Earlier, Trump put out a tweet saying, "Fake, NBC News, made up a story that I wanted a tenfold increase in our U.S. nuclear arsenal. Pure fiction, made up to demean NBC equals CNN." With all of the fake news coming out of NBC and the networks, at what point is it appropriate to challenge their license? Bad for country. Liberals, of course, have gotten up in arms about President Trump's statements, jumping directly to the conclusion that Trump wants to abolish the First Amendment and get rid of free speech. What Trump was clearly saying is that the press should stop putting out false information in their news stories. Do you agree with Trump? Obama condemns accused rapist lib Harvey Weinstein, but left out one very disturbing detail. Liberals got worked up because it took a couple days for President Donald Trump, a couple days, after trying to calm the situation down, to publicly condemn white supremacist groups like the Ku Klux Klan who participated in the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. However, they have been conspicuously silent about the fact that it took former President Barack Obama to publicly denounce Democratic booster Harvey Weinstein for the sexual assaults he is accused of committing on young Hollywood actresses. Said Barack, "Michelle and I have been disgusted by the recent reports about Harvey Weinstein. Any man who demeans and degrades women in such fashion needs to be condemned and held accountable, regardless of wealth or status. He added, "We should celebrate the courage of women who have come forward to tell these painful stories. And we all need to build a culture, including by empowering our girls and teaching our boys decency and respect, so we can make such behavior less prevalent in the future." The thing, however, that Obama forgot to mention is that he and Michelle were social with Harvey for years when it was an open secret that he was committing these sexual assaults. In fact, Weinstein was one of Obama's top bundlers during 2012 re-election campaign, raising $680,000 for Obama from liberal donors. Do you think Obama is a hypocrite for claiming to support women but then being friendly with sex predator Harvey Weinstein and taking his money? Top fashion model is now accusing Lib Harvey Weinstein of doing something truly perverted. Top Democratic fundraiser and movie mogul Harvey Weinstein is having a very bad week, Bill Cosby style, as several women have come forward and spoken about how he has sexually assaulted them, with some even accusing him of rape. This list of women includes big names like Gwyneth Paltrow, Angelina Jolie, and Ashley Judd. Weinstein's wife Georgina Chapman just left him, and it looks like the 65-year-old's Hollywood career is finished. As if things hadn't gotten bad enough for the outspoken liberal, fashion supermodel Cara Delevigne just came out with a sordid story about what he tried to do to her as well. Said Cara, who is openly bisexual, "When I first started to work as an actress, I was working on a film and I received a call from Harvey Weinstein asking if I had slept with any of the women I was seen out in the middle with. Later, Harvey invited her up to his hotel room." Said Delevigne, "I quickly declined and asked his assistant if my car was outside. She said it wasn't and wouldn't be for a bit and I should go to his room. When she mistakenly went, she found a woman waiting there for her with Harvey." Said the model, "He asked us to kiss and she began some sort of advances upon his direction. She said she started to leave, describing, he walked me to the door and stood in front of it and tried to kiss me on the lips. I stopped him and managed to get out of the room. Do you think it's disgusting that this married, Obama-supporting movie producer tried to get lesbian aspiring actresses to have threesomes with him?" ESPN reporter said players standing for U.S. national anthem is just like slavery. Democrats have been trying to convince us that the conspiracy theory about President Trump's campaign somehow colluding with Russia to fix the election is real. It's telling, then, that liberal football players are the ones who are refusing to stand for America's national anthem. Suppose sports network ESPN finally took action and suspended bigoted writer Jemele Hill after she called President Trump a white supremacist and other slurs, but only after getting intense pressure and getting threatened with boycotts. However, it looks like ESPN executives need to watch the rest of its left-leaning staff a lot closer, because auto reporters have been saying outlandish things about the protests. A recent episode of the ESPN show Pardon the Interruption provided a perfect example. On the program, co-host Mike Wilbon was talking about how Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones said that his players needed to stand for the anthem or else they would get benched. Wilbon went so far as to call Jones, who gives his players millions of dollars every year, a slave owner. Commented Wilbon, "The word that comes to my mind, I don't care who doesn't like me using it, is plantation. The players are here to serve me and they will do what I want no matter how much I pay them. They are not equal to me. That's what this says to me and mine." Do you think this ESPN host needs a basic history lesson? The professor just got career-destroying news when he tried to blame Trump voters for Vegas shooting. The mass shooting carried out by crazed retired accountant Steve Paddock recently in Las Vegas was a tragedy that needs to be discussed and analyzed in a rational manner. It is sickening that a college professor, who should be one of our country's best thinkers, decided to respond to the event by claiming it's the white supremacist patriarchy. Stupid. Continued this Drexel University professor named George Zachary Elamar on Twitter, it is the spinal column of Trumpism, and most extreme form is the white genocide myth. Yesterday was a morbid symptom of what happens when those who believe they deserve to own the world also think it is being stolen from them. He added, white people and men are told that they are entitled to everything. This is what happens when they don't get what they want. George's tweets did not go over well, with other Twitter users leveling threats against him, such as one that read, "I will beat your skull until there is no tomorrow." Thankfully, Drexel University finally did the right thing and put Professor George Zachary Elamar on indefinite leave despite the fact that he has tenure. He will no longer be teaching the classes that he had been teaching this semester, surely to his students' benefit. The liberal radical was, of course, angry that the university decided to give him the boot, claiming in an editorial, by bowing to pressure from racist internet trolls, Drexel has sent the wrong signal, that you can control a university's curriculum with anonymous threats of violence. Are you glad the university kicked out this leftist troublemaker?